Okay, Brad here.
And Christa.
Part two. Hopefully you found your way over here, or you're refreshing your page and you're seeing it. So
right.
Looks like we have green lights here, so we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
But the briefest recap. Food, water, shelter. 6 months of food per person, minimum, with a way to resupply. Water, 1 gallon per person per day. Or if you can't do that, then you're going to need a way to filter water or acquire water. But what you need is 1 gallon of water per person per day.
Right.
Shelter. Are you safe?
Are you safe where you're at?
Safe from the heat, safe from the cold, safe from animals and even the two-legged kind?
The four-legged and the two-legged kind.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you, huh? Then you need to address that. I mean, obviously, okay. For those who may not have watched part one, we were having internet problems.
Yeah, sorry.
But we are not speaking of any of this from a motivation of fear. We are just encouraging you that things are going to get weird, and the writing's on the wall. So, okay, flashlights, batteries, solar. You had shown them.
Yes, I had left them downstairs.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Lighters
is where we were at last.
Yeah. As I was saying, in studying collapses of societies, lighters go for ridiculous amounts of money, because it's funny, because even with lighters, a lot of people have a hard time just making a basic fire.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That's something you guys really need to know. If you do not know how to light a fire, even without a lighter,
might be time
you
to
need to start practicing.
Boy Scout it, Girl Scout it up.
Well, I hate using those, but yeah. Just you got to go back to the way it was done a long time ago and know how to do it. And
we're back, says Crazy Prepper Linda. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a thing that some of you may or may not be able to do, depending on what ailment you have. Your meds.
Yeah, your medicine.
Have you looked recently at what you really need? Would you be able to, I mean, I know a lot of people have medicines that your doctors will refuse to give you any surplus on.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's not just even the doctors, it's the insurance companies. They won't pay for more than 1 month at a time.
So you got to figure out other ways to do this.
Right. You got to figure out a way to either buy that medicine on your own or, yeah.
Custom designer, good suggestion. And by the way, for those jumping on here for the second part two, please do make comments. It is helpful to share the knowledge you have.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep. Solution for lighters, propane torch with a striker. You can get those at Harbor Freight, dirt cheap.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we use to light fires for the house.
Well, those too, but I think he means like the welding ones.
Oh, we have one of those strikers too.
Yeah,
we have
those
one
are
of
great.
Those.
Those are great. First aid kit. If you don't have one, okay, the ones that they sell at Walmart.
Those are for boo-boos.
Those are boo-boo kits.
Those are boo-boo kits.
I'm talking about if I can't get to the hospital, how am I going to fix this giant hole?
Yeah.
Kit.
Right.
Or break. Or a lot of things could go south if you can't get to the doctor.
Yeah.
And so find yourself a good kit. The one that we have found to be the best bang for the buck and has got a ton of stuff.
It has from boo-boos to bullet holes.
Yep. That's how they brand it, is Refuge Medical.
Yep.
And if you go over there, and this is not a really big commercial because I think you can save 15% if you use the code Big Fam.
Cool.
Big Fam. Yeah. They'll save you some money. But they're excellent. They actually have all kinds of different kits, from surgical kits, which heaven forbid you would have to, if you ever had to do that.
Well, there's a whole lot of learning that has to go that's involved with that.
Yeah.
That
was the next thing.
Yeah.
Is if you don't have training, the best kit in the world isn't going to help you.
Mm-mm. No, you got to get a first aid book, a first aid knowledge, a good thick first aid book, not these little pamphlets that help you fix boo-boos. You need a intense first aid book that you need to be studying.
But more than that, you need training.
Well, yes, that too.
Because if you've got a broken, say, fill in the blank, and you're standing there going, hold on, let me read this chapter.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you read the book now, not when it happens.
But I'm even saying it's worse than that, because like, let's say that, okay, for example, have you ever had to stitch anything? Like a wound? What if you had to stitch something? Like, let's say you got cut open and you can't get to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the electric vehicles aren't powered to take you there. Ooh, is that a little jab? I don't know. All the electric vehicles aren't powered because there's no power and you can't get to the doctor.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lola Granola, how's it going? Yeah. So get some training. Basic CPR classes. There's lots of places that offer them for free.
Oh, sure.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Basic first aid. Yeah. Or if you have a doctor or a druggist, he's from France. So that's definitely, we would call it a pharmacist, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Most certainly.
Yeah. Just having a nurse, that you may know. Yeah. Well, okay, Adrian, sewing and crocheting is a lot.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can stitch some. It's different when you have to stitch through flesh.
You know what? One thing I do know that a lot of places teach it, how they teach it, is use chicken.
Yeah. Use a chicken.
Like go to the store, buy skin on chicken. And that's what they use to practice.
Right.
The
exactly.
skin.
Yep.
Yeah. Steri strips or make my own. There you go.
You can do that. Super glue. Yeah.
I've super glued many a wound.
Yes. Yeah.
Not on them, on me.
Oh yeah, no, he's super glued his own wounds, and I've never super glued my own wounds.
I've super glued myself because I have an irrational fear of being sewn up, like stitched. They call it irrational because it's not rational.
I think there was some trauma when he was a young child.
They practice on pigs too.
Yeah.
JM. Yeah. True.
Yeah. Ugh.
But get yourself a good first aid kit stat. And if it costs $10, it's not a good kit.
No.
You're going to have to invest in that one.
I could stitch someone else. It doesn't hurt me.
That's funny. Okay. That right there. This is an item that you should have many of.
This is a crappy one, too.
This one is a crappy one.
It's really
bad. But you can even get the GI ones. They're cheap. You can get the little ones that they used in World War II.
They're
the
small.
little bent metal thing. Can openers. Let's say that you stored up a bunch of food. What are you going to be doing? Throwing it at the wall trying to get it open?
I'm sure you can. I'm sure if you're hungry enough, you're definitely going to find a way to get into it.
I have a feeling it's going to be like Tom Hanks in Castaway. You're going to cut yourself up trying to get into that coconut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not spend $10 now and have a bunch of can openers laying around, or little ones, or ones you can trade? Or...
Yeah, buy the cheap ones, like some from the Dollar Tree, and get a bunch of them, because these expensive ones are just as garbage as
P38. That's right.
You buy from the Dollar Tree, so
you can get the P38 can openers cheap.
Funny.
Because all it is two little pieces of metal on a hinge.
That's funny.
And that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Here's one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had your eyes checked lately?
Yeah.
You might need those.
Nah. They're okay. They're not really necessary, are they?
It's one of those things that everybody forgets. Coconut style. It's one of those things everybody forgets until you're going, my glasses broke.
I can't see. Yeah.
Or
No,
they're
I get it.
scratched up. Or the glass just got busted.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah. Something to think
P51
of.
is larger. Maybe it will fit in your hand better.
True.
Okay.
P51.
Okay.
Yeah. And no, she's not talking about the airplane, which is iconic and very, very cool.
Yes. No, it's a can opener.
No Mustangs here.
No.
Wish I had one. Tell you what, side note, rabbit trail. If I was like a gazillionaire, if I was like rolling like Elon Musk, I'd buy one. And I'd learn how to fly it. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
What is so true? I don't remember what she said. What'd you say?
I don't remember.
That is so true. Glasses. Get to the eye doctor. Get a backup pair.
Oh, maybe about the can openers.
Yeah. That ought to also tell you there's a slew of medical things that you should probably consider now. Because if you can't get to the doctor, what are those things in your life that you don't want to live without or can't live without? Assess that.
Teeth.
No lie.
I know.
If you know that you got to get some dental work done,
Do it now.
do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Book that appointment.
You know, the thing is, though, our daughter Claire is married to her husband Cody, and they have been trying just to make an appointment for the last 2 years just to get their teeth cleaned, and no dentist is taking any new patients in her area.
Huh.
Yeah. I was able to get to the dentist, 6 months ago, and had a tooth pulled because it was bad. And so, yeah, it's sketchy just to even get your teeth cleaned. It's, none of these dentists are taking patients. So
Befriend a dentist.
befriend a dentist. Yes.
Go cut their grass just randomly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Show up with a lawnmower. Don't even ask. Just start cutting their grass. Hey, what are you doing out there, pal?
I bought a wine bottle opener from the Dollar Tree. Just don't. When I pushed the wings down, it just bent down. Cork didn't even move. That's terrible. That is really bad.
Eyeglasses appointments for us are about 2 months, says
Yowza.
Adrienne.
And don't wait for your glasses get them from Zenny.
Good call, Kel. Need a glasses and watch repair kit.
Yep.
The tools in them are amazing, and they can be used for a lot of different things.
They can.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's true.
Absolutely. Okay, I don't know why they want everybody to buy electric cars, because they're heavily invested in e-commerce.
So they can shut the power off, and then you can't go anywhere.
Well, the funny thing about electric cars that nobody thinks about is you still have to pay for it. You're paying for the electricity.
It's not free.
And for the people that are like so way pro-earth, they go, oh, well, it's an electric car. How did they make that electricity, people? It's still mostly powered by coal.
Or nuclear. Yeah.
And not the new clean nuclear, but the old dirty nuclear.
Right.
It's just a funny thing. It's like, do you guys not think, well, how did it get to your house? Oh, I just plug it in my house. Well, how did it get there? Like hamsters?
I don't know.
There's 1,000 hamsters on wheels outside?
How'd the chicken get to the grocery store?
I don't know. Where do you suggest getting eyeglasses from? Tammy, I get mine from Zenny.
Yep. We get ours from Zenni Optical. Zenni optical.com. It's been great. I bought, both of us bought new glasses recently. I don't wear mine all the time, but, and they were $85, about $85. Yours were
Yeah.
about that, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
But so it was, you just got to follow all of their procedures to put in the right prescription, and then they'll send you the glasses. If they don't work, you send them back and they'll fix them.
I was surprised because these are new. new to me, like only like a month old or whatever.
Yeah.
And the ones that they sent before were like really small. They were like child's glasses.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it. And they didn't give us any problem sending them back.
No, it was easy to do, and they credited our account easy, and then we reordered the new ones, and it was fine.
Gel, invest in a wagon so the horses can pull the wagon and carry the family. You know what we actually lucked out on is we have some ATVs, you know, the four-wheelers. Mm-hmm. We have a few because we have a small farm, and they come in handy.
Yeah, they do.
We use them for everything around here. Well, we have two newer ones that if there was, say, an electromagnetic kind of pulse thing, they wouldn't work. Yeah. But we do have an older one that's a Honda that every time you pull that cord, it fires up. Every time. And we lucked out. Krista saw the other day, there's like a local junk store.
Yeah.
And they had a motorcycle trailer that was covered, enclosed, and lockable.
Yep.
That if you had to go get stuff from somewhere, it ain't going to get wet. Mm-mm. The ATV will still fire up.
Right.
And I traded that for a trailer that we bought for $400. Mm-hmm. I got the ATV for that.
Yeah.
So if you have a way to get some glasses, do it now.
Yeah.
Warm clothes, warm blankets.
Mm-hmm. It depends on your area. You know, obviously, if you live in Florida, you may need some, but not a ton. So, but up here, you definitely have to have those.
Yeah. I mean, it's life and death.
Yeah.
And it's so cold here that even there, no matter how many blankets you have, if you can't get your house to at least 0, you could be in real trouble. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So think of that. Different ways to heat. Mm-hmm. Here's one that a lot of people do not think of.
Good shoes. You got to have a good pair of shoes. Just buy them and don't use them.
Stick them aside.
Just have them as your backups. Because if you can't go and buy shoes, then you're going to need them.
And not sandals.
No, I meant a good pair of shoes. Hiking boots or good tennis shoes, something like that. But something that even, you know, I would say something waterproof. If you're live in a wet area like we do here, something waterproof would be ideal.
Adrienne, my husband said also, has anyone else noticed that when you get gas, it doesn't smell like gas anymore? You know what? I have noticed that.
I haven't paid attention, but...
Lately, I've been pumping the gas.
True.
Just lately.
True.
I do think the smell is not as heavy, so they must be doing something with the blend. Maybe.
That's strange.
Yeah. That is strange.
Yeah, you know, now that I think about it.
It used to gag you out. Like you hated it. Like if I asked you to get gas, if I was working and you were filling up a 5-gallon and bringing it home, you hated it.
Oh yeah, it was gross. And then it would be in the car. It's just nasty in the car. I hated putting gasoline cans in the car.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know what it is either, but diesel. Okay, the only reason why I noticed this is because I was in a traveling band for a long time, and we had tour buses. And when I would smell the diesel fumes because of tour bus, it would instantly make me think of being on the road. Well, for whatever reason, I don't smell that much, even when we're going to the gas station and diesel trucks are right next to you. Maybe it's, who knows, maybe the Cova did it to you.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe you just can't smell it anymore.
Have some cash on hand. Mm-hmm. Now, however much you feel is important,
right?
That's up to you. But cash is still king. And while a lot of people will argue that precious metals are going to be the way, I'm not so sure, and I'll tell you why. You can't eat a chunk of gold or silver, and not a lot of people trade it right now. You may argue that might change in the future, but right now, how many people are willing to take cash for a thing rather than a hunk of silver. It's just how it is now. I mean, that
Maybe
might change
different later. Yeah. Yeah, maybe
that
different
might
later.
change, so it might not be bad to have at least enough to get you out of a pickle.
True.
Stuff to consider.
Yeah, folks with disabilities. We have a daughter who has disabilities, and she eats through G-tube, and we have to seriously consider her needs in how she's going to eat, because she can't eat by mouth. So we go anywhere, we have to make sure she has enough food, because if we have to walk home, you never know.
And you know what? That's honestly something I've been considering, the walking home bit. I have talked with Christa about the fact that we might need to throw a bicycle or two in the back of the truck and take the truck more places. Maybe even put that motorcycle trailer in the back of the truck. Because if all of a sudden it was not, let's say that there was a solar flare, just so we're not going to crazy land, okay? Let's say there was a solar flare and all of a sudden a big chunk of the country has no power and they won't for a very long time. Well, where we live, we're 25 miles to the nearest town where you can buy stuff that's real stuff.
It's 20 door to door to Walmart. Yeah.
I could walk that. It would be unpleasant. It would take all of 24 hours.
Yeah, it would take a couple of days to get there.
But our daughter with special needs most certainly could not walk that.
No.
I doubt she could walk 2 miles.
It would be hard for her, definitely.
So we need to have a plan because of how far we live away from things. And it's not, I mean, it's just where you live. It is what it is.
Yeah. And I know that's, 20 miles is really not.
Around here, that's not
far. I mean, I know there's people who are, hundreds of miles from a grocery store, but it's where we're at, and we have to consider, our family's needs. But, a stroller or a wagon, she's a little too big for a stroller, but,
we could put her in the trailer, that little motorcycle trailer.
Pull her behind a bike. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would probably happen, if I was thinking this out, one of us would probably take, a Second Amendment item with us ride the bike, take her home, while the other one waited with a Second Amendment item, and then one of us would bring back the ATV that will fire up.
Yeah.
Because it does not have chips in it. You pull a string. It's an old Honda ATV.
Right.
It's a Rancher, and boy, that thing is awesome. And then we could pull a garden trailer.
Well, and I think if it really truly is in the fan, we won't be going anywhere.
No.
But if there is a need, only one of us would be going, not.
Well, and here's another thing to think about. Actually, you know what we do have? I got to get it repaired.
Yeah.
We have an old 1948 Ford 8N tractor.
Fire up.
Winter's over, snow's done. I was going to bring it out, and I wanted to, because it's leaking at part of the, where the fuel tank, there's a glass bulb. It's leaking right there. So I got to get that repaired. But I was like, hey, Caleb, let me show you how to drive this so that you'll know. Fired right up.
Yeah.
Didn't even wait a second. Just on. 1948.
Yeah.
That joker was pulling thousands of pounds of hay in our last house when we were making hay. Yeah. It would pull a wagon, it'd pull a trailer, it'd pull whatever you needed. We'd have a caravan. Yeah.
Well, we have a trailer that we can pull behind it. So that's not an issue. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, Shervin had said an adult trike. Actually, Grace does have one of those. She has one, but there's no way she could ride 20 miles
that far. She couldn't do it.
She couldn't do it. She rides on our driveway for 10, 15 minutes, and she's done. Yeah, she's done. It wears her out really fast. So.
Stuff to have on hand if you have the ability. And I'll even say this, that even if you don't have a diesel engine, it might be a good thing for you to have on hand to trade 10, 15 gallons of diesel fuel. Diesel is not like gasoline in how fast it goes bad. Gasoline goes bad. You're not going to get a year and a half out of it till you start losing serious power.
Right.
Diesel will last a lot longer. Okay. Yeah, Tammy, they've got an 8N too.
Yep.
And it would fire up and it'll drive.
Yep.
And it'll go probably 25 miles an hour. I'd say.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Yeah. Now, so that said, where were we?
Here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where we were at.
So consider what you might have to do with folks that are in your world with disabilities, because that could become a very big deal. Next thing, pet stuff. Have you got a pet that you're not going to eat it?
You can't live without.
You know what I mean?
Could be your.
Let's be honest.
It could be your, house protection.
Maybe it is your protection.
You want to keep your animals healthy and well.
Yeah.
And pet stuff is important.
Food.
You got to be able to feed your pet. And granted, you probably won't be able to keep hundreds and hundreds of pounds of dog food on hand before it goes rancid. But
they'll still eat it.
There are other things that dogs can eat. I mean, if you have a leftover chicken, you're not going to give them leftover chicken.
No, if you're hurting and you can't get to the store, nobody's getting leftovers. But...
No. What I was saying is, oops, where'd it go?
I think you bumped it.
I did. I bumped it.
Okay, keep going.
The chat went away.
Got it.
Sorry. You can take that chicken carcass and you can boil it and get the rest of the chicken out of there and mix that broth with rice, and they can have the leftover chicken. I mean, it would take some effort and some work, but you could still feed your dog.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't have the ability to go hunting, but if you're nearby where you could go hunting or fishing, it might be worth learning.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
ASAP.
Definitely.
But consider pet stuff. And I'm not talking like doggy sweaters. I'm talking about how to keep them alive.
Right. Exactly. I know somebody had said earlier to befriend a vet. Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, because what if something happened to your dog, or heck, even you? A vet can
fix a lot of things.
They can stitch you up pretty easily. So, yeah.
Yep.
We thankfully know two. I wish they lived closer.
Yeah.
At least one of them, lived close enough.
Swagger, a stapler, Second Amendment. Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Other things. And by the way,
stapler?
Double barrel stapler. That's right. I think I remember some politician telling us that's what we needed. Get a stapler, a double barrel stapler. Come on, man.
Holy smokes.
One thing I think that would be very important if, I know, a couple gallon diesel fuel, if you can, if you need it, it's going to stay a long time.
Yep.
If you have a diesel engine and it's newer, you're going to need what's called DEF, D-E-F. And I forget what it stands for, but it's basically a fluid that helps burn up the exhaust more so that it's got less pollutants in it when it comes out.
And doesn't it, if you don't have it, doesn't it reduce your
horsepower to
like 5 miles an hour? Or 5 miles, not 5 miles an hour, 5 gallons, 5 miles a gallon.
No. You had it right the first time. It reduces your horsepower so bad that it makes your vehicle almost unusable. Like 5-10 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you, politicians.
Awesome.
So yeah, DEF. And I actually went to go buy some for our tractor. And guess how many there were on the shelf?
Just one. Yep.
Just one. Just one.
Yeah.
So if you can get it, better get it. Now, this is one that I don't think a lot of people think you should have on hand, and I think you should make copies, keep them with you, because if things got weird, and let's say that all of a sudden martial law, checkpoints, I'm not saying that will happen because we don't do fear.
No.
But I'm saying that with the way things are nutty, you never know. And that's this. Yeah, thank you, Tammy.
Yeah. Documents.
You're
important documents. Keep them in a waterproof, fireproof safe that you can keep with you all the time.
Not the originals.
No, not the originals.
Copies of, say, well, you're going to have to keep your driver's license with you if you're driving.
Right.
But anything that's like maybe a will, maybe, well, you name it, because you guys know what you need for you.
Right.
But think about if you got stuck somewhere and you had to be there for 6 months, would they even be able to verify who you are?
Good point. Good point.
You know, and when people say this could never happen, let me just ask you something. During World War II, do you think, and you think I'm going to talk about the Jewish people in Nazi Germany? No. Right here in the United States. Do you think that Japanese Americans thought they would ever be rounded up and put into camps? Prison camps. Oh, they didn't call them that. But isn't prison where you're rounded up and you can't leave?
They were internment camps, is what they called them.
Doesn't sound as menacing as prison.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
These are people who were Americans. Do you think that they thought, oh my gosh, this could never happen? Yeah. Things get nutty when people get hungry or afraid. When they fear the other guy, the bad guy, people do crazy, stupid things.
Yeah. So, okay, there's a couple people who've said memory stick, putting it on a thumb drive or something like that.
Okay, thumb drives, I do have thoughts on that, but go ahead.
Go for it.
Thumb drives, these, there's one over there. Yeah, these guys, memory stick. This is good, only if somebody can read it.
Yeah, that was what I was going to go to.
Now, for you people that are, let's just say this. These things have a limited amount of write cycles. Like you can only write data to them X amount of time, and then they won't do it anymore. It's still a lot. I'm nerdy stuff, but they have an almost unlimited amount of read cycles. So like you could put this almost unlimited. It's huge. So for things like your family photos, these are great for backups because you can buy them for $2-3 for 16 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And so at that price, buy a bunch of them, make copies,
exactly,
send them to the kids, ship them around because they will still work. Now, if you were worried about an EMP, you could make yourself a little Faraday cage at home. If you don't know what a Faraday cage is, I'm not going to get into the super technical. I'm just going to keep it basic. What it does is when that pulse, the electromagnetic pulse happens, it acts like a cage that the energy goes around it and grounds into the ground instead of it hitting the circuit and destroying the circuit.
Right.
You can make Faraday cages at home cheaply. There's a lot of things you can use to make Faraday cages. You can take an old microwave and make a pretty good Faraday cage.
Yep. Even a trash can, a metal trash can.
Yep.
Makes a great one. You just have to line the inside of the trash can to where the gadgets are not touching the metal. So.
Yeah, the gadgets can't touch the metal and it needs to be grounded. I know there's debate as to whether or not you need to ground. James is calling out the fact that we should come to Jesus. And I agree, James. I really do. We were actually going to talk about that.
That is should be the first, last, and every point in between. That's the most important thing that we were going to talk about here in just a sec.
Do not fear, James.
Don't fear, James.
We're going there. We're going there.
Yep.
But there's a few other things that I want to hit on before we get there.
Right.
So hold tight.
Yeah.
But these things are great for that stuff. Walkie-talkies, if you have a Faraday cage, then you can put things like two-way communications, walkie-talkies. And while they don't, okay, you know when you've ever gone to buy walkie-talkies and they say 25-mile range, what they mean by 25-mile range is if you were standing in a desert and you have clear line of sight for 20 miles, it'll barely pick it up.
Right.
But if there's trees and mountains or hills or
Houses
buildings or people,
Mm-hmm.
they never, ever go even half that distance.
No, I mean, when we lived at our last house, we had some of these 25-mile ones, and they barely worked from the front end of the 30 acres to the back end of the 30 acres. Barely. And there were limited trees. Actually, there was no trees in between, and it was pretty flat, and it still barely worked.
Yeah.
So,
and it always just honestly depends on atmospheric conditions that you have no control over, and stuff that's in the way, hills, rocks, people, trees. They may not even work a mile. So, but are they still handy? Yes.
Oh, yes.
But only if you have two of them working.
And on the same channel.
Yes. So.
Yep. That's the key. Working together.
Yeah. If you can get them, great. And then they would, if you're talking about an EMP, they would have to be in a Faraday cage, or else none of it's going to matter.
Right.
None of it's going to matter. And that's why I always think it's funny is like people put cell phones in Faraday cages. And I say, why? Who are you going to call?
Sisters.
No.
I know.
If there was an EMP, let me help you out. None of the cell towers will work.
No.
It's only two-way communications that would work.
Right. So ham radio, or
only if there's somebody listening.
Only if there's somebody listening, right? And walkie-talkies.
What about
CBs?
old school CBs? If there are two of them.
Yeah.
You see, you could talk, but if there's nobody else that has a working CB, it ain't gonna matter.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about, JL. Heck yeah, kicking it old school.
2 Campbell cans and a string. There you go. Done.
Gotta talk loud, man.
Yeah.
Gotta talk loud.
Yeah, that's true, Brenda. It would still be a camera.
Yeah.
You could still have music on it, or
you could be listening to, Paperback Writer by the Beatles.
That's
could.
right.
What would you listen to when the zombies come? He did the mash. He did the monster mash. When the zombies come.
Right. All right, let's get to the most important thing.
This is bar none the most important thing, and unfortunately one of the things that most everybody does not put on the list at all, or they don't put it as a big priority.
Right.
Let me ask you something. You do all these preps. You spend all this time and all this effort and all this money and worry, which you shouldn't worry, and I'll explain that in a second. You shouldn't worry, you shouldn't be living in fear. But you spend all this time and money and effort and all that, and you're still going to die. You just might buy yourself a little bit of time, maybe a year, maybe 6 months.
Yep.
The real question is, are you ready to meet your creator? And I am not joking, folks. And I'm waiting to see the number drop right now.
Oh, right. I know.
Concurrent viewers. Because this is the important thing. We're all worm food. We all have an expiration date. And while we can push it back a little bit with being smart, and being, as ready as we can. If you don't have peace with God, none of this matters.
No.
Zero. Goose egg. None of it matters. And I'm here to tell you, and I know that I'm not going to apologize because this is 100% the truth. You need to know Jesus. God is unfortunately a code for a lot of people to talk about this nebulous thing that's out there. Oh, I love God, or I talk to God through trees, or I talk to God through animals, or love. God is love. Well,
yes,
that's all well and good and stuff, but here's the reality. It's Jesus paid the price so that we can be with him in heaven eternally. And if you don't receive that, that's trouble, my friends.
Yep.
Right here in River City. You've got to have a relationship with Christ, or else none of it matters. None of it
stuff that you're doing
matters.
Doesn't matter.
Because all you're doing then is just buying yourself a little more time with which the worms grow hungrier. Because you're still going to be worm food.
That's right.
You guys must like skinny worms.
Yeah, no. I don't like worms.
So that's the truth. So James, I hope that was good enough for you, bro, because that is what motivates us.
Yeah.
That is what motivates us 100%. Actually, if, we have a Bible devotion channel too. It's called Big Family Devotions, Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning. Right now we're in the book of John.
Yep.
Check it out. Ecclesia TV, watching from Kenya.
Wow, that's
How cool
so
is that?
Cool.
How do you say hi in Kenyan?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking them.
Oh, yeah.
How do you say it, Ecclesia?
That's so cool.
Say hello. Say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Do you have, shameless plug channel time. Ecclesia TV, do you have a website? Share it. Ecclesia TV had a question. Where is it?
Question?
I'm scrolling. Let me see if I can scroll to find it. I didn't see your question. Where is it? Oh, man, it must be far back.
Yeah, I didn't
see it. It says hello.
Very cool.
Watching from Kenya. That's all I got. Habari. Cool. Hello. Well, if you got that question on hand, fire away. Oh, Jean Lee knew. Habari.
Very cool.
Are we saying it right, or does it sound too Wisconsin? About
arithmetic?
Arithmetic?
Is that what you're asking? Is that arithmetic?
It says arthritic.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, maybe about
arthritis. Yes.
Okay. This is not to sell stuff, but
no.
Here it is. I have rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis so bad that I used to have a $2,500 a month shot called Symphony. Well, insurance changed, and lo and behold, that Obamacare that was so great that I was supposed to keep my doctor and keep my shot, well, I didn't get to keep it. Some friends of mine who were missionaries in South Africa said, hey, there's this plant that grows all over the place called moringa, or it's called the drumstick tree. And it does amazing things for inflammation, arthritis.
Yep.
You should try it. And guess what? This is 7 years later? 6?
Yes.
I can still play guitar now. And there you have it. It's that it has worked wonders for me. And since we're not making this a commercial, I'm not going to name brands or anything like that, but we love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Use it every day.
Yep. And where you're at in Kenya, you probably will be able to grow it.
Oh, she had to have surgery.
Ouch.
Yeah, they told me that I was supposed to have surgery, but I can still get around.
That one's not legal in a lot of places.
Can't get that one, man.
No. Moringa is legal.
And I know there is a legal version of that, and I get it. And you know what? For some people, it helps, and good on you.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Good on you. So, anyway, there it is, folks. You've been having pains and have tried moringa. It definitely works.
Awesome.
Could I import your product? Well, it's not ours.
It's
We don't.
not, yeah.
It's not our company. We promote a company that we like.
Right. I really
not
don't
ours.
know how that's going to work. I mean, I know where you're at, you probably can grow it very easily.
Where you're at, you can grow it.
Yeah.
It'll grow. Yeah, you can buy the seeds and you harvest it even like 3 times a year. It grows fast.
It grows really fast. Sandy's asking how do you use it. Brad takes a capsule. He takes 4 capsules every day. You can put the loose powder into a smoothie or into a tea or whatever. I would recommend a smoothie. That would probably be the best way to do it. But capsules is the easiest way to take it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grow it, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, jail.
Yeah. No, we're going to grow moringa.
I'd really rather stay out of jail, man.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you get the right seed and the quality?
Over there, because we've got even some friends. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to think of my geography right now. You can probably buy it there. I know you could get it from Amazon.
Do they ship over there?
I'm sure there's got to be Amazon in Kenya. Yeah, some friends of ours are from Uganda. They go to our church.
Yeah.
They came over only a few years ago.
They're from the Congo, and they
went to Uganda.
They went to Uganda. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad situation.
I would imagine there's a place that you could buy seeds, but I really, overseas, I really don't know. Yeah.
Check it out, though. Oh, but if you do plan on growing moringa, one thing you need to know is it has got a very low germination rate.
Right.
So get more seeds than you think you're going to need.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because I think it's like 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5.
Yeah, it's a low germination rate. But the right one is Moringa oleifera is the correct one. I know there's scientific term. That's the scientific name. So I know there's several different species, but Moringa oleifera is the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
My wife is from the Congo. Oh, very cool.
Wow. Yeah. Links. We our email, it's real easy.
Yeah. Here, I can put it in.
It's in there. info.bigfamilyhomestead@gmail.com. And yeah, I will say this because we do get a lot of emails. Just so you guys know, we read every email, but we don't have time to respond to every email. But we do respond when we feel like, okay, this is really important. We need to do it.
Ecclesia, there's a link for the moringa we use in the description box. If you want to check that out there, that's the one we like to use. I don't know about the seeds though. I'd have to do some research to find out if we can.
Tammy, I'm sorry. I need to respond to this because there have been a few people that have asked about this. They're 2 different things. She says, I'm confused. I thought moringa was helping you, but you say you're still in pain. I am absolutely in pain, but for a different reason. I have osteoarthritis and I have rheumatoid arthritis, but I also have the fun trifecta of undiagnosed autoimmune disease.
He has a degenerative disease in his back, and that's what it's not helping.
Yeah. We have had how many different doctors in the last 16 years?
10 or 15.
They've all given it a crack.
Yeah.
They all come and do all the tests, and they do all of this, and they try me out on this drug, try me out on that drug. And they all think it's one thing, and then they say, nope, that's not it.
Right.
And then I'll move on to another doctor, give it another try. Matter of fact, I just got another new doctor just the other day. It's not my arthritis. I have an autoimmune disease that it's very bizarre. A lot of the doctors have thought I had what's called ankylosing spondylitis, where your bones become very much like stone. Then we've had other doctors that say that they think I have dish. Other doctors that say, oh my gosh, it's Lyme disease. And then it turns out it's not. And, so it's, I do have pain, but it's not because of the arthritis. The arthritis, I can actually do stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
Duke does. You have ankylosing spondylitis. I'm going to try this. Well, there's no guarantees, Duke. Because
Yeah, no, it
did not, the Moringa helps me with all this, but
right. It's his spine. It's growing new bone.
it's weird.
And it's really strange. And it's nothing is helping. So yes, it's, there was, where was it? Degenerative discs have no cure, and that's
what people say.
It's a degenerative disease that there is no cure. It's the Moringa is helping for his autoimmune disease, his rheumatoid arthritis, his osteoarthritis, but this disc thing is so different. We're trying to figure.
Nobody
that
knows
out.
what it is.
Right.
That's the thing,
Right.
and I have me personally, my body reacts weird to different prescription medications. Just for instance, without giving you too much like personal medical history.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, if you take Theraflu or any of those like NyQuil things that are supposed to knock you out when you have a cold, if I take any of that, like NyQuil, even like this ultra sleepy time NyQuil, it's like I drank 5 pots of coffee.
Right.
I'm like jittery, cannot go to sleep, wired for
Sound.
10 hours. So stuff like that. But anyway, so Moringa helps my arthritis, but it's, I don't know. I mean, let's just say God blessed me uniquely. And I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
No, I know.
It's just, it is what it is, and got to try to learn how to live with it.
Yeah. Goodness.
Okay. NSAIDs? Okay. Well, then it might be worth a shot, man.
Yeah.
But that's honestly, we try to tell people it doesn't work for everybody, but a lot of people say, I would say it's about 80 to 85% of people that say they have arthritis that they say it helps them immensely.
Wow. Yeah.
So anyway, here's the list. For those of you who came late or you only watched part half, here you go. Screenshot that and look at my bad handwriting and really, really interesting spellings on things. But there, this one.
That's the most important one.
Are you right with God?
Yeah.
Because if you're not, prepping doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Oops, I made it fuzzy. Huh? No.
No, you got to go closer.
Yeah, you can.
Use this.
Yeah, I got to go slow. There you go.
I did it.
So, all right, guys.
Yeah.
That's it. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. What? Wait, we're not made and created from a cookie cutter?
No.
Gosh, darn it. No, I knew that. I'm not making fun of your comment in any way. It's just shocked me.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. It's going to get real. I wish I could tell you some stories of people that have shared things with me, but if I do not know a thing for 100% accurate, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to create any undue anxiety with anybody. But let's just say that if half of the things that people whisper in our ear and say, hey, you can't really say this on air, but here's what's going on.
Yeah.
If half of them are true, we're going to be in for a wild ride. So make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full and upright and locked positions.
Oh, my goodness.
Hang in there, folks.
Yeah.
Hugs and kisses. See ya.
Have a blessed day.
Oh, wait. There's a song, by the way. Hey, I write scripture songs, by the way. So it's for memorization. And this one here is one I just finished 2 days ago, and it's based on Psalm 9. And there's a space. There's like 5 seconds of silence because I messed up when I was bringing it out of my software. But here, check it out and tell me what you think. Have an awesome day. Bye.
has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne, giving righteous judgment. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. For he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold